Love you, Papa. Loudly projected.
The Rootabaga Stories. How they broke away to go to the Rootabaga country. Gimme the axe lived in a house where everything is the same as it always was. The chimney sits on top of the house and lets the smoke out, said Gimme the axe. The doorknobs open the doors. The windows are always either open or shut. We are always either upstairs or downstairs in this house. Everything's the same as it always was. So he decided to let his children name themselves. The first words they speak, as soon as they learn to make words, shall be their names, he said. They shall name themselves. When the first boy came to the house of Gimme the Axe, he was named Please Gimme. And when the first girl she came, she was named Ask Me No Questions. Both of the children had shadows of the valleys by night in their eyes, and the lights of early morning when the sun is coming up on their foreheads. And the hair on top of their heads was a dark wild grass, and they loved to turn the doorknobs, open the doors, and run out to have the wind comb their hair, and touch their eyes, and put its 6 soft fingers on their forehead. And when, because of no more boys came, and no more girls came, Gimme the Axe said to himself, my first boy is my last, and my last girl is my first. And they picked their names themselves. Please Gimme grew up to hear it, and his ears got longer. Ask Me No Questions grew up, and her ears got longer. And they kept on living in the house where everything is the same as it always was. They learned to say just as their father said. The chimney sits on top of the house and lets the smoke out. And the doorknobs open the doors, and the windows are either always open or shut. We are always either upstairs or downstairs. Everything's the same as it always was. After a while they began asking each questions in the cool of the evening after they had eggs for breakfast in the morning. Who's who and how much? And what's the answer? It is too much to be too long anywhere, said the tough old man, Gimme the Axe. And please gimme and ask me no questions, the tough son and the tough daughter of Gimme the Axe answered their father. It is too much to be too long anywhere. So they sold everything they had, pigs, pastures, pepper pickers, pitchforks, everything except their rag bags and a few extra. When their neighbors saw them selling everything they had, the different neighbors said, they're going to Kansas, to Kokomo, to Canada, to Kankakee, to Kalamazoo, to Kamchatka, and to Chattahoochee. One little sniffer with his eyes half shut and a mitten on his nose laughed in his hat 5 ways and said, they're going to the moon. And when they get there, they will find that everything is the same as it always was. All the spot cash money he got for selling everything, the pigs, pastures, pepper pickers, pitchforks, Gimme the Axe put in the rag bag and slung it on his back like a rag picker going home. Then he took Please Gimme, his oldest and youngest and only son, and Ask Me No Questions, his oldest and youngest and only daughter. And they went to the railroad station. And the ticket agent was sitting at the window selling railroad tickets, the same as always. Do you wish to buy a ticket to go away and come back? Or do you wish to buy a ticket to go away and never come back? The ticket agent asked, wiping sleep out of his eyes. We wish a ticket to ride where the railroad tracks run off into the sky and never come back. Send us as far as the railroads go, and then 40 ways farther yet, was the reply of Gimme the Axe. So far, so early, so soon, asked the ticket agent, wiping the more sleep out of his eyes. Then I will give you a new ticket. It blew in. It is a long yellow leather slab ticket with a blue spanch across it. Gimme the Axe thanked the ticket agent once, thanked the ticket agent twice, and then instead of thanking the ticket agent 3 more times, he opened the rag bag and took out all the spot cash money he had for selling everything. The pigs, pastures, pepper pickers, pitchforks, and paid the spot cash money to the ticket agent. Before he put it in his pocket, he looked once, twice, 3 times at the long yellow leather slab ticket with a blue spanch across it. Then with Please Gimme and Ask Me No Questions, he got on the railroad train, showed the conductor his ticket, and they started to ride to where the railroad tracks run off into the blue sky, and then 40 ways further again. The train ran on and on. It came to a place where the railroad tracks run off into the blue sky, and it ran on and on. Chickadee chick, chickada chick, chick a chick. Sometimes the engineer hooted and tooted the whistle. Sometimes the fireman rang the bell. Sometimes the open and shut of the steam hog's nose choked and spit fissity-foos, fissity-foos, fissity-foos. But no matter what happened to the whistle and the bell and the steam hog, the train ran on and on to where the railroad tracks run off into the blue sky, and then it ran on and on, more and more. Sometimes Gimme the Axe looked in his pocket and put his fingers in and took out the long, slick yellow leather slab ticket with a blue spanch across it. Not even the kings of Egypt, with all their climbing camels and all their speedy, spotted, lucky lizards, ever had a ride like this, he said to his children. Then something happened. They met another train running on the same track. The one train was going one way, the other was going the other way. They met and they passed each other. What was it? What happened? The children asked their father. One train went over and the other train went under, he answered. This is the over and under country. Nobody gets out of the way of anybody else. They either go over or under. Next came to the country of balloon pickers, hanging down from the sky, strung on strings so fine the eye could not see 'em at first. Was the balloon crop of that summer. The sky was thick with balloons, red, blue, yellow balloons, white, purple, orange balloons, peach, watermelon, and potato balloons, rye loaf and wheat loaf balloons, link sausage, and pork chop balloons. They floated and filled the sky. The balloon pickers were walking on high stilts, picking balloons. Each picker had his own stilts, long or short, for picking the balloons near the ground. He had short stilts if he wanted to pick further high and far. He walked on the far and high pair of stilts. Baby pickers on baby stilts were picking baby balloons. They went off when they fell off their stilts. The hand of the balloons were holding, keeping them in the air until they got their feet into the stilts again. Who is that away up there in the sky, climbing like a bird in the morning? Ask me no question, asked his father. He was singing too happy, he replied. The songs came out of his neck and made him so light the balloons pulled him off the stilts. Will he ever come down again? Back to his own people? Yes, his heart will get heavy and his songs are all gone. Then he will drop down to his stilts. The train was running on and on. The engineer hooted and tooted the whistle, and when he felt like it, the fireman rang the bell where he felt that way. And sometimes the open and shut of the steam hog had to go fissity-foos, fissity-foos. Next is the country where the circus clowns come from. Gimme the axe. To his son and daughter, keep your eyes open. They did keep their eyes open, and they saw cities with ovens, long and short ovens, fat, stubby ovens, lean, lank ovens, all for baking either long or short clowns, or fat and stubby clowns, or lean and lank clowns. After each clown was baked in an oven, it was taken out into the sunshine and put up to stand like a big white doll with a red mouth leaning against the fence. 2 men came along to each baked clown, standing still like a doll. One man threw a bucket of white fire over it. The second man pumped a wind pump with a living red wind through the red mouth. The clown rubbed his eyes and opened his mouth and twisted his neck and twiggled his ears, twiggled his toes, jumped away from the fence and began turning handsprings, cartwheels, somersaults, and flip-flops in the sawdust ring near the fence. The next we come to is the Rootabaga country, where the big city is the village of liver and onions. Give me the axe. Looking again in his pocket, to be sure he had a long slick yellow leather slab ticket with a blue spanch across it. The train ran on and on until it stopped running straight and began running in zigzags, like one letter Z put next to another letter Z, and the next and the next. The tracks and the rails and the ties and the spikes under the train all stopped being straight, and they changed to zigzags, like one letter Z and another letter Z, and put next to each other. They seemed to be going halfway and then back up. Said, ask me no questions. Look out of the window and see if the pigs have bibs on, asked Gimme the Yak. If the pigs are wearing bibs, then they are the Rootabaga. We're in the Rootabaga country. And they looked out of the zigzagging windows in the zigzagging cars, and the first pigs they saw had bibs on, and the next pigs they saw had bibs on. The checker pigs had checker bibs, and the striped pigs had striped bibs on, and the polka dot pigs had polka dot bibs on. Who fixes it for the pigs to have the bibs on? Gimme the asked his father. The father and mothers fix it, answered Gimme the Axe. The checker pigs have checker fathers and mothers. The striped pigs have striped fathers and mothers. And the polka dot pigs have polka dot fathers and mothers. And the train went zigzagging on and on, running on the tracks and the rails and the spikes and the ties, which all were zigzagged, like the one letter Z and another letter Z. And after a while the train zigzagged into the village of Liver and Onions, known as the biggest city in the big Rootabaga country. And so if you are going to the Rootabaga country, you will know when you get there, because the railroad tracks change from straight to zigzag, and the pigs have bibs on them, and it's the fathers and mothers who fix it. And if you start to go to that country, remember first, you must sell everything you have: pigs, pastures, pepper pickers, pitchforks. Put the spot cash money in your rag bag and go to the railroad station and ask for the ticket agent for a long, slick yellow leather slab ticket with a blue spanch across it. And you mustn't be surprised if the ticket agent wipes sleep out of his eye and asks, so far, so soon, so early. And that's the end of the story of the Rootabaga country.